Voodoo. Good evening, B's, G's, NB's, P's, Vagines, and in-betweens. I come to you as always as Charles, otherwise known as CPO, otherwise known as CP, otherwise known as the Dexter Content House. Tonight's the night. Depending on what time you're watching this, that may not be entirely appropriate, but this is something that I meant to do at least last month. This is a tier list that was made by Cody Leach. And I saw like behind the scenes what he was doing with this a couple of times leading up to things. And I think someone had made a Dexter characters tier list, like with all the characters. Um, and that was very daunting because with my memory, um, I'd have to be looking things up every fourth person or so. And it's because of that silly memory. Um, I am doing this now because if I don't get this done prior to the 31st, this is going to get lost in the shuffle. I was supposed to do this last month. And Cody has his. Cody has his video where he does a tier list ranking. I excuse me. I think the total is 52 characters. For the most part, these are characters that you spend at least a full multi-episode arc with. So 52 is still a lot. That's an average of 5 new characters per season, about. Going to the chat real quick. Fourth drawer down. What's going on? Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, thank you for checking in. Quick flash, guys, in the live chat, there is a link for NordVPN where you get a special discount. And if you use that link and take them up on that offer, I get credit here. And I would appreciate it if you were to consider that. NordVPN is something that I literally use. So whatever that's worth, I use it. I enjoy it. I would recommend you do the same. There is a discounted link in the chat. And again, if you use the specific link from this video, you will get a discount and I will get credit for it, which we all make out in that instance. So right on. Yeah, so Cody made this tier list, I want to say over a month ago. And it's I guess I could highlight it and bring it to attention here. Right? Yeah. All right. So behind my head here, there's a couple extra. Can I make this? Yeah, there's Wallace, and it looks like Cody and Aster together. See, I'm blind. I know that's Neil Patrick Harris. I'm assuming that this is the dude with the Viking hat from season 7. I'm just doing a rough run. I'm sorry, because I want to make sure that I can make this out and not like, rank someone who's important low or something like that. It looks like for the most part, I can make them out. So here are the tiers. I thank you, Cody, for only doing 5. I've seen some where they have like 10. That gets very hard to differentiate. But the S tier is my best trophy. The A tier is a slice of life. B tier is doesn't move the needle. Bay Harbor boredom. Cute little fun with the words there, Cody. And the bottom of the list is deserves the table. Yeah, so all of these characters, are we able to move this? Yeah. All of these characters are they're regulars. They're people that you should know the name to, although I'm certain that I will not have remembered some of these names. You're going to get a lot of, oh, that guy from that thing, especially in the middle there. There are some that I certainly know their name, but I am awful with names. So apologies to Dexter fans, apologies to actors who may be checking in on this. But I what's his tits, what's his cock, that guy from that thing. That's what you get here, with no ill intent. It's just my brain is like a sponge. Actually, no. A sponge would mean that you're soaking these things up. Whatever the opposite of a sponge is. My brain is a sieve. Um, so I don't want to do some of the big ones first. I want to plan this out a certain way. Um, maybe we should go backwards. Um, like from resurrection and work our way down. I think I like that idea. Okay, so starting from the bottom, we have Charlie Brown from Resurrection. Um, considering she's still alive and could be a factor moving forward, this is an incomplete character here, technically. But when it was good, it was quite good, but it wasn't perfect. And when it was bad and wince-worthy, it was exactly that. Especially towards the end there, for as badass as they made her character right up front, I would have expected maybe I don't know, some consistency. But if there's anything that I can give and take away from Resurrection, it's the consistency was a little flip floppy. I don't think I don't think it's your damn titles, Cody. I don't think doesn't move the needle is fair, but I got to think of it as B tier and not doesn't move the needle. It does move the needle, but then again, yeah, I'm gonna stick it here. That's what she said. For now, but I'm not. I can be talked out of it. I think. Um, so we're sticking with Resurrection. What do we got here? Oh, so here he was, technically a one episode guy, although technically, everything kind of wrapped up in one episode, but we did see him for more than one episode. The Mr. Tattoos from episode 3, no, 4. Um, I don't know. I didn't dig his isms, his saying "baby" for everything. I don't know if he was trying to do a thing or he was trying to be obnoxious, but he was kind of obnoxious. I'm going to say Bay Harbor boredom wasn't completely offensive, but not fantastic either. Cody, I gave you credit. Cody says, "Well, this looks familiar." And again, I'm absolutely lifting this from Cody. And yes, go look at his. He's the creator of this. I said earlier, Cody, that we should do the full length one, the 120 people. I don't remember names now. If I had to look at that thing, I don't know what I would be doing from the fourth cook from episode 5 or whatever. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not gonna drop my title of hating on Resurrection this way. Um, but some of those characters were kind of. I think the potential was there, but kind of wasted when it was bad. Uh, Cody says I'm down to do that in the future. A quarter of that list is like who? Yeah, if maybe we can do that together and have it be a live stream where we have phone a friend because I might be able to help you on some of the shitty ones. I won't know their names, but you'll know names and I might know parts. But that would be a fun little thing. Um, Sean, I I appreciate it. Who do I want to be the villain in Batman 2? Uh, Penguin. After that television series, it's got to be Penguin. What's wrong with my labels? That because doesn't move the needle is it's a bit more. I don't know. The implications are a little bit more bleak than B tier. doesn't move the needle, says to me bland. I get it. You're doing plays on words, but when I read it, I don't think, orange, yellow. I think blue, green. But yeah, you're fine. Don't mind me and my nonsense. Okay, so this is probably the most obscure one on this list. Oliva, Nurse Jackie's husband from Nurse Jackie. Again, like, I don't know, he's a glorified extra. I don't hate him. I don't love him either. I if anything, my memories are about him in Nurse Jackie. Like, I'd feel shitty if I put him in the same category as Charlotte Brown, because she at least did something more. Yeah, I really enjoy the actor, but I think Dominic Fumisa, I believe is his name. Don't quote me on that. But Bay Harbor Boredom, again, another one that his character may not be done just yet. But I'm judging the characters, not the actors, and the characters based on what we've seen so far. And again, maybe there's something extra in the future, but for right now, nothing really jumps off the screen as far as Oliva is concerned. We're sticking with Resurrection. No, all right. So I'm gonna have to use a biggie here, I guess. Yep. All right. So Al, again, another character that possibly, well, I hopefully has a future. Inexplicably, Michael C. Hall just posted to the Dexter account that season 2 of Resurrection is happening. A shocker, I'm sure, but I would hope, of all the things that are happening, I would hope carry over from his character. You know what? I'm going to say A Slice of Life, because he was creepy, and I feel like there's this Jekyll Hyde thing about him, like his weird habits of like getting tourist shit. Like when he packs to leave at the end, he's got all these dumb like mugs and sweatshirts and all this other weird shit. It's just an odd little touch for his character, always going sightseeing and shit like that. But when he watches that video, really creepy. Like that was Eric Stone Street did quite a job looking very, I don't know, making me uncomfortable with his looks. I'll say that at the very least. So another actor that I quite enjoy his work, but I certainly felt odd. And him throwing that cell phone out at the end there, the last time we saw him in this season, leads me to believe that he knows a little bit more than he does. So, yeah, sticking with Resurrection. Okay, so where do I put you? Yet another vigilante. She served multiple purposes because she ended up taking the fall for the watch. Well, technically, that too can be have something else in the future, but they tried to give us a little bit of everything over the course of 2 or 3 episodes, and another storyline that I wish they had stretched. I feel like she could have been like the full season arc, or maybe not the full season, but like get her started in episode 3 and have everything right up until episode 9, and then you have the angel death. Spoilers. You have the angel death in episode 10, but they really kind of rushed through everything about her. Dexter was into her, and then he was turned off by her, and like they really seemed to drill through those things. I'm hoping maybe they're doing this because they had a bunch of ideas and they wanted to make sure they got it out there in case it was canceled or in case people absolutely hated the season. But hindsight, uh, I'm, I too am going to say a slice of life. Yeah, see, so I'm not that inconsistent about Resurrection, it seems, so far. We will stick with Resurrection. Gamini, the Gemini killer. Yet another 2-3 episode arc there. Thank God there was two of them because when things started popping off there, it was way too short. I mean, granted, it was just an extra episode of him, but having that reveal at the end of episode 6, I want to say 5, 6. Um, they had a lot of strong things, strong villains, I would say, in this season, and like his arrogance and that standoff in Dexter's apartment was kind of cool. Like checking up in the library and leaving notes for himself or his brother, should I say, for in their celebrity in a book that's discussing the Gemini killers. Uh, Again, a lot of the characters that we rushed through, it felt like no, you can take your time with this. There's no reason to like you're really filling something out, but you're going so fast. I'm going to put him too in a slice of life. I'm trying to think. I don't. Well, I think everyone there in that slice of life thing. I mean, I get it with Resurrection. You had to pivot away from New Blood, and I guess you needed at least 2 episodes to kind of shoddily tie up the laces there and kind of figure out how you want to step away from that and segue into Resurrection. But if you had 12 episodes, this wouldn't be a problem. But I digest. I'd rather have a lot that I enjoy rather than a whole lot of nothing. Are we done with the Resurrection? Oh, blessing. Yet another character that seemingly served a purpose just to get things going. Something of a fluff character, if I'm being honest. And the last third of the season really kind of didn't serve a purpose. Like him having a little bit of a grudge with Dexter because, spilling the beans on what he did when he was younger and his daughter finding out. I don't know. I think you could have taken the elements of Blessing and put him in a different character. I really do. You could have had the girlfriend or the not girlfriend, the friend zone, Elsa. Wait, is she here? I don't see. I am blind. I don't see Elsa here. I just want to make sure because I would have to do her next. All right, she's not here. Okay. You could have put everything that we gain from Blessing's character and put it, take those 2 characters and make one. So with that, I will put Blessing on Deserves the Table. And I think Dexter YouTube agreed with me a lot because, man, did they want him to be the New York Ripper. And I understand why, because you need his character to have purpose. And if he was a New York Ripper, at least you're putting up with all that bullshit for a good payoff. And I was kind of done with him. I think by episode 4, I didn't need to see any more of him. Thankfully, there wasn't much going on towards the end, but it's just one of those things that lingers in the background. And sure. So Wallace we have here. again, another character that certainly can be explored further. And um, I don't know. The last taste of her as a character was dancing to Staying Alive. Didn't appreciate that. I understand the TikTok crowd must love that, but it's getting to a point where you got to speak something to these writers and show creators like Dexter. Excuse me, TikTok isn't just dance moves. Like there's other things going on over there. So I've seen much more than just dancing on TikTok. So please stop being a caricature of Hollywood. But her character was strong. I'm going to say doesn't move the needle though because of the juxtaposition with her character. Really smart, has some habits. Um, again, this is an incomplete grade, but I think the like pseudo coded autism thing was I don't know because that stopped being a thing by like the fourth episode. I just feel funny about it. Like if in season 2 of Resurrection she ends up being like the detective that takes Dexter down, uh, on its surface, I really need some more work on there. It's possible that you can win me over. I mean, Harrison, shit. The fact that they not only won me over but got me rooting for that character in just one season is a testament to just how much that I kind of can flip. So I think if they fill out Wallace's character a bit more, I certainly could push that up to a slice of life at the very least. And last but not least, right? I just am double checking that it's not Elsa here. Prater. Uh, uh, like, again, I'm reading the words, not looking at the colors. Because Prater, like, I feel vibes give me like a B tier, but I wouldn't say he doesn't move the needle. Damn you and your wordplay, Cody. Um, yeah, you know what? This is technically another incomplete character, but I'll split the difference and put him in a slice of life because his strengths are many and the weaknesses aren't really there. It's just like pet peeves with his character. But yeah, that is all of Resurrection, if I'm not mistook. Yeah, so now we work backwards to New Blood, and we have Angela here, the greatest sheriff in or chief, captain, whatever, of a rinky dink upstate New York police department, agency, city. Um, I'm sorry, they made her character like a lot more a bigger deal than she was. Like, if I could say anything from New Blood to Resurrection, it's that whatever trip ups they made with Angela, they more than uh, worked on and got better with Wallace. But I'm going to say Angela deserves a table. Also a love interest too. That was one of the Dexter love interests. Um, that I no, 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 no. Oh, um, I'm just seeing now that we actually Original Sin. I skipped Original Sin. I don't know if there's more than this. I'm just combing through this now. So the captain from Original Sin. See this? I've already forgotten his name. The show hasn't been on for a year yet, and I've already forgotten his name. Uh, I'm gonna put him in Bay Harbor Boredom. For some reason, McDreamy, when he's kind of cartoony, it turns me off. And when his like villain thing started happening towards the end there, I was I didn't have much interest. And then when that towards the last couple of episodes, I had negative interest in his character. Okay, so that is just about everything from Original Sin. Now we'll get back to New Blood, which is Kurt. Oh, bother. I liked Kurt quite a bit, actually. One of the more intriguing characters and definitely a plus from that season. Kurt Caldwell, I'm going to say a slice of life. Because if he ended up taking Dexter out, I felt like that was maybe not fully earned, but with the theme of New Blood being sins of the father, if he had gone through with and taken Harrison out or something like that, I felt that that was earned, maybe established. It was something that it wasn't hard for me to believe. But unlike Kurt, Angela was something where I was like, yeah, I don't believe that she's this badass because she couldn't solve anything with the 50 girls that are missing from her town. And then suddenly Dexter's there as I don't know, a muse for her, even though he's not really helping her out so much. Like I I'm sorry, with what you've established with the Dexter character, uh, it's I don't believe that he would be that out of touch and sloppy about things that someone who couldn't catch a missing girl from a dude who was in her town. You didn't set that up enough for me. Apologies. Okay, so is it time now? It's time for season 8. Yeah. All right, season 8. Let's get started with you. I forgot your name. It's creepy just how much Dexter with their casting. You can tell when they like a look because the actor that they got for Harrison is essentially this kid's look, like right down to the hair in New Blood. Oh, speaking of Harrison, apologies. Well, I just let you know which one I'm doing next. Technically, if we're doing Resurrection New Blood, Harrison's there. He's not quite my best trophy just yet. Wow. New Blood is awful. He's absolutely annoying in New Blood, but quite interesting and entertaining. And again, I was rooting for him in Resurrection. It shows you that it's not the actor, it's the writing, it's the script, it's perhaps the direction, but the same directors. So, if it were just Resurrection, I'd be slice of life. But due to the fact, if it were New Blood, it would be Bay Harbor Boredom. Maybe even deserves a table for New Blood. But benefit of the doubt, yet another character that probably has something moving forward doesn't move the needle, even though he moves the needle. I'm angry when I hate it, and I'm encouraged when I like it. Okay, let's go back to his proxy from season 8. Do you remember his name, Fourth Throwdown? I don't remember what this kid's name is, but he was done by like the halfway point in season 8. What am I going to do with you? It was the dry run of adult Harrison, and I don't know. I enjoyed it at times, and at times it felt a little silly. But that's kind of what season 8 is. Season 8 is silly. Anything that kind of works, it's just seemingly an accident, and anything else is just they picked the 8th season to do some of their weirdest shit. Bay Harbor boredom is where I'm going to put you. Oh, proxy to adult Harrison. Oh, yay, I can't wait. Okay. So here we go. The character that took out Deb. A dude that I don't know. I've forgotten his name. I'm thinking starts with an S, right? Yeah, this is where I crumble. His eyes are the creepiest thing, while also being like dead. Man, yeah. And I guess the same thing that I said with Angela. The fact that this is the guy that took out Deb, like, it's so wild. So they certainly didn't establish that this character was worthy of all of the drama that he was delivering, all of these stakes that he was on the opposite end of. Like, I'm sorry, you didn't earn any of that with this guy. I'm gonna put deserve the table because he and ironically he didn't get the table, which is hysterical. And we'll get his mother while we're at it. Yeah, more things about season 8 where you just, what are you doing? What is it you're doing? Because this is atrocious. And I'm sorry. Retconning Harry, amongst other things, not not really good at all. I think you could have made that character work without retconning. Like, I don't know why she needed to know about Dexter, and like there could have been a way that you could have introduced that better, but poor on all fronts. What do we have? Are we done with season 8? I guess we can technically do Hannah because she's something of a crossover. Season 7, season 8. So season 7, she was far more interesting than season 8. Season 8, again, season 8 was like the retcon season where they're like, hey, we need this to work, so we're just going to undo a bunch of things. And again, Deb is just going to get shit on because, yeah, Dex likes her. He's into her, even though she tried to kill Deb. We're going to just look past all that, and then he is okay with this woman who poisons people that he loves and is close with. He's okay with her watching his son because pretty girl, pretty killer, pretty. I'm going to say doesn't move the needle. Kind of. I don't. You know what? I don't think I would put her in a slice of life because even at her strongest, I don't know if I would put her as like an A tier. I don't. Who are you? I don't know who this is. Is that season 5? I don't. All right. Anyway, season 8. Are we still going on season 8? So here's a 7. There's a 6. Oh, here's more season 8. Yeah, I've burned all character names from my memory. I didn't hate the dude who ran the investigation house, whatever. I have nothing on their names. It might get worse for season 6. Um, I didn't hate it, considering how much season 8 was just like the worst of all fronts. I'm going to put him in Bay Harbor boredom. I liked the idea of him also being interested in Deb, and it wasn't strong, but it had potential. Um, Season 8. I think we're all done here with 8. Season 7. This is the dude with the Viking hat. Another character that I really, really wish had a multi. It should. This is a guy that I kind of wish had a full season arc. He was that strong, a freak of the week. I think considering the amount of screen time he had, the fact that I want more says something about that. And I'm going to put him in a slice of life, which is wild. This is like the first time that Deb experiences, you know, Dexter's process and witnesses firsthand just how much these people are an issue and literally deals with it firsthand. Season 7, new babysitter, also known as Angel's sister. I don't know. This appears to be one of those Scott Buck things. A conventionally attractive female who's very often not wearing much clothed, but always showing skin in some way, shape, or form. But I don't know. Nothing about her character, like other than who she's dating. The strangest babysitter ever. Nanny, whatever. The fact that she would just put up with Dexter being at all times and then takes the kid. I don't know. I have Bay Harbor boredom for me with Angel's sister. Oh, and speaking of her boyfriend, this had potential. The dude that was making a video game and Dex was offended by it, and there became this little arc. How like much he was pissed off at Dexter and like playing chicken with one another when Dex tells him to never come back to his house again, and this, that, and the other thing, and next thing you know, he's at Dexter's apartment like the next day, and kind of like taunting Dexter about it. It was good. I just feel, I don't know, when you get rid of him, the fact that like his blood, you could have amped that up where the rift between him and Dexter got noticeable with people at Miami Metro, and then when you find his body on the boat, it could have been something that could have helped Maria LaGuerta too, where the same thing that they kind of did with Quinn, do it again with this guy. They love repeating storylines. Do it in season 7 where his blood gets found on Dexter's boat, and LaGuerta uses that as like a super jumping off point. But for the sake of averages, I will put him in the B tier. Who do we got here? we've got the I do not know these dudes' names. The dude who ran the strip club. Who knows Quinn? Yeah, sure. Okay. Um, another character that served their purpose, didn't really do anything too incredible, and didn't stick out. I guess it didn't stick out in a bad way, but certainly didn't. Very memorable, as you can tell by me not remembering his name. Although, to be fair, I don't remember most people's names from season 6, 7, 8. Um, Bay Harbor Boredom, otherwise known as C tier. Think we're done with 7. Yes, it appears so. Oh no. Oh, Circo. Oh man, that was a great storyline. The highs, the lows, the fact that there was this like understood respect for one another by the end of his run on season 7. The cat and mouse that was happening between the two. Technically, he wasn't really the full season antagonist, and you know what? We're S tiering. Circo was my best trophy. One of the gems of the later seasons of Dexter, and the fact that they had me like really interested in a dynamic between characters in the later seasons of Dexter is I'm impressed by it, as I've clearly stated with my ranking. Um, Season 6. I guess we'll start right off the bat here with Travis. Not strong at all. I'm trying to think if there's anything about him and little his version of Dexter and Harry. Spoiler. Um, is there anything that I found appealing? It's like a hyper worse version of Blessing from Resurrection. The more he was on screen, the worse things got. I wouldn't say the same. Blessing just became irrelevant towards the end of Resurrection. But Travis, the more he was on screen, it was like detrimental to, like, I hated his character. And the more he was on screen and saying things and doing things, and like the religious bullshit towards the end, it was just like, just kill him, please. Like everything he's saying sucks, and he's actually kind of cringe, as you kids say. I'm putting him there at the bottom because woof. I'm trying to think if there's a redeeming quality at all about his character from a dramatic, from a narrative standpoint, and I can't come up with anything. What's going on, Kitty? Hyper worse. My vocabulary is good. Season 6 still. Brother Sam. Man, the glowing parts of the later seasons, 5, 6, 7, 8. They don't have those full season arcs. Brother Sam was good. That's something I would have appreciated it to be a bit more stretched out. And again, season 6, considering the theme was religion, if he had something that he got Dexter to second guess his atheism, or just his scientific / religious background because of the experiences he had with Brother Sam. I know someone said it recently that he does, but within that moment, Dexter just kind of thinks about it and then decides to do things his way. I wish there was some sort of struggle, some conflict internally with Dexter due to brother Sam and his beliefs, and have it be something that, kind of is a multi-episode conflict. But it doesn't. No, a slice of life. Hey, go back up there. I will put him there. Kitty says, I don't remember that kind of. I don't remember enough of the characters do this kind of thing. See, you're fooled by me because I remember characters. I don't remember their names. But anyone can do this. I believe the link is down below. I'm losing my voice. Okay. Is we done with season 6? It only gets better from here. Season 5. Oh, brother. The Barrel Crew gang. Yeah, go off vibes, Kitty. Just vibes. Tick, tick, tick. That's the sound of your life. Everything about season 5 and their villains really kind of. No single one of them was strong enough to be a season arc villain. It's quite the opposite of Resurrection. Resurrection, their little freak of the week with the serial killers. Man, you could have stretched any one of those, with the exception of maybe the tattoo collector. That you could have stretched out quite a bit. And season 5, you had a bunch of these underlings, and none of them were really strong enough to, I don't know, satiate whatever need I have with that show. And, the leader of the pack here, Bay Harbor boredom. I rather don't like strong elements of season 5. We'll get with yet another Dexter love interest from season 5. Only episodes after his wife has died. We have Julia Stiles playing Lumen Pierce, like a smutty romance novel. Mrs. WILIscredia pointed out that, is that because looming Pierce, like a looming stab Pierce? And I would venture to guess that yes, that's a play on looming Pierce. Not terrible. Too soon. A little too soon after Rita. Again, another thing where if you had some sort of conflict, some issue where she lasted a little, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 seasons, like you give her the Hannah treatment, and it could have been really interesting. I just don't think that early is it. As much as the show beat it into our skull that Dexter doesn't like human beings, he's a sociopath, and he finally found someone that he can love, and this, that, the other. Rita's the one that he will hunker down for. He won't change anything he does, but he's willing to lie to her for the sake of having a family. Then episodes later, it's like, you know what? She's dead. Now I'm gonna get my dick wet, and not the best. But there's certainly moments that in a different structure, a different time loadout, I would appreciate more. Plus the fact that Lumen technically is still out there. Maybe we could see her again. I'm going to put her in B tier. Season 5 still. I do not remember this. I can't tell if this is another barrel guy. I am blind. It looks like one of the first ones, one of the first barrel crew people. But considering how much I do not remember, like even forget name, that's a just not happening. But considering the face isn't doing anything for me, um, deserves a table. If we know who that is, scream because I don't. Need a new prescription on the glasses. Yeah. All right. So we got Liddy in season 5 as well. Another character that when it was strong, it was strong, but when it was bad and annoying, it was very much that. Um, but when the threat of him catching Dexter, the threat of him screwing over Quinn was interesting. It's another character that things really started moving, and then they had to die. This is getting interesting. What do we do? Never mind. Let's just kill him. And the aftermath of him dying could have been something interesting, and really wasn't. There's that kind of. A lot of people have said that the interesting favor that Dexter did for Quinn is just kind of always in the background, which sure. But I don't think when they wrote this little dynamic in season 5, they wanted it to be this lingering thing because they haven't really exploited it. So, Liddy, I'm going to put in P. Doesn't, whoa, no. I've ruined everything. Still in season 5. All right, now we're on to season 4. What are your thoughts on Dexter Resurrection season 2? Do you think we'll get a dream sequence with Dexter? A dream sequence? What do you mean a dream sequence? I'm excited. I mean, this is the most obvious thing there was, but I don't know what you mean by a dream sequence. I excited, yes. With Angel, oh, possibly. Yeah, I hope we're not done with the Angel character. Night. A darkly dreaming kitty. All right. Well, you enjoy your sleep. See, sleep is important, right? But yeah, I don't want the Angel character to be done because I won't be satisfied if that's the end for the actor, the character. Like that's not good enough for me. As a series, they've screwed up the send off of a couple of characters, and now Angel was the character with the most weight. I'll re-talk about this when we get to Angel because I got to talk about him. Season 5 is all wrapped up. Season 4, I guess we go to. Man, if only he were the New York Ripper. Jonah. I guess technically we had some of Jonah in season 6. I don't know. I for the same reason as I with Blessing earlier, I think the internet would like Blessing to be worth something more, and it seems like these incomplete characters, these characters with like Swiss cheese for dramatic input. Um, it makes people feel better. I know Cody was big on the train of Jonah being New York Ripper, and again, it's one of those things where, yeah, I guess we want that because as a character that is technically still alive, it'll make it seem a bit more worth it. Yes, yes, Gray. I am. I think I said after episode 4, it got worse and worse. But yes, hatred indeed. um, but Jonah, I think, I think without some like retroactive way to make his character worthwhile, it's it's kind of a dog shit character. But season 4, there was an interesting dynamic with him and Dexter, and I'll put him in Bay Harbor boredom. Eh. Is this really it for season 4? Oh, um, the the Christine, I forget what her last name was. Was it Hill? Am I just making that up? Christine, the daughter of Trinity, who was also the reporter, and yet another Quinn partner, physical, romantic partner. Excuse me. I didn't when I rewatched it, I really didn't appreciate the way that they kind of revealed that she was Trinity's daughter. Like in hindsight, like that little setup there, everything behind her character and her being behind the one uh, for Lundy and all that shit, it didn't make sense. It felt a little choppy. If anything, it was probably the sloppiest storyline of season 4. But even then, as a tertiary character that kind of every now and again dipped into the main storyline, pretty strong, all things considered. I'll put her in the B tier. And are we all but one here? We're all done. Trinity, like I'm sorry. There's no discussion about this. Trinity is, I don't know, perhaps the best character not named Dexter. I'm sure people would argue for that because there's at least one or two that I've seen people like really their number one is not Trinity, but Trinity, full season arc, everything about him, the highs, the lows. The lows weren't that low at all, and the highs were impressive. The fact that he was the one who ended up taking Rita away from him, that was earned. That felt earned. Everything about it felt established, and that showdown in the end, and the brutal nature in which Dexter finds out that he didn't win. If anything, it was a tie. For his character, I loved everything. For the after effects of what he did for the show, I felt like another reason that I don't appreciate what they did in season 5. Dexter was fucked up for an episode in season 5, and was kind of moving on by disc 2 of the Blu-ray. And if we had like reverberations of just how much Trinity just messed Dexter's world up, that would have been cool. Yes, Eli, what's going on? That's a good idea. Don't forget to slash the like button and sub to this awesome channel. Thank you. And I appreciate it in advance. What Eli said. Season 4. Should I do Camilla now? The best key lime pie lover in all of Dexter. So much so that we have to shoehorn a love of key lime pie into the prequel series. I liked her quite a bit. Another tertiary character that uh, I when her character died, it felt like something as unnecessary as it was. Like, by unnecessary, I mean, we didn't need that closure with that character. Like, there are a bunch of characters on TV series where they have speaking roles and then they aren't on the show anymore, and we don't really need closure with them. I thought what they did with her was rather solid. I'm going to put her in Slice of Life, even though it should be in Slice of Pie. Ugh. Okay. Well, Rita, who left in season 4, and I think left is in an inappropriate way to put it, but Rita left after season 4. Yeah, this is a 4-season arc where I come to think of it, I don't know if I could put her anywhere below like a B tier. The dynamic was interesting. Her being able to get Dexter to fall in line for some things. She ended up, I think season 4, they did this on purpose. Season 3, she was glowing, like quite literally for the character because she was pregnant. But season 4, I if you go back and watch it, she like is she tests Dexter. She's a bit of an annoying wife at times, telling him to get things together, and she kisses what's the neighbor. Thank you, Cody, for not putting him here because I can't use another nameless face. Her as the irony of her character in season 4 is interesting because she's something of a a typical old hag at home, but the fact that they have her be annoying. I don't mean annoying just outright, but there's things where she would they had that standoff for a little bit where she wasn't talking to him and he got her a bread machine, and considering what happens to her character in that season, it makes it quite ironic and bittersweet. Elliot, thank you, Jade. Jade, where were you before? Yeah, she's S tier. JDev, who is this? Who is this? What season are they from? Because I feel like it's one of the Barrow guys from season 5. The guy who cleaned up bodies. Lone Wolf, $2 super chat. Thank you. Only characters close. Trinity, Doakes, and Brian. Those you read my mind. That's exactly who I was thinking of. But even Rita at her worst was A tier. Very very good character to have. Like when she's annoying, it's in this way that you're okay with it. Like there's people that you don't like, but you like to not like them. You love hating them, and Rita was a character that even when she was like being bad or whatever, when they had their little fights, it was still something that, for all intents and purposes, it was this B plot line, this C plot line at times, and it really didn't feel like it was fluff. And that's something that I appreciate. A love interest that wasn't always getting naked. I didn't feel like it was just shoehorned in for sex appeal. It was actually a relationship. It was a character that had other things going on, a family. She ventured off and was had a wandering eye for a little bit, and challenged Dexter's kids, even though they're not his. But there's a lot more to her character through every season. There are characters where they're love interests, and it just feels like they're love interests. Aster and Cody. Shit. This is odd that like they're not going in S tier. Uh, they're Rita's kids, and I feel like technically they could be an incomplete story. It's another one of those things where, man, if you brought them back, you can make it make sense. But us checking in with them in the later seasons was kind of, I think the last time we saw them in season 6, 7, where they, I don't remember. The later seasons, it really wasn't great. And I don't, like, to be fair, I don't know what you do with those characters after Rita, but I'm holding out hope for them to come back, or one of them to come back and really give it to Dexter because of him being responsible for them not having a mother anymore. And that would, on an emotional level, that would be really powerful. But we'll put them in doesn't move the needle because the highs are up there, but the lows are kind of stank. Joe Jensen, the Phantom Arsonist. Oh, yeah, no, he belongs there. Thank you, J-Dev. Yes, deserves a table. Again, all of the reasons that I said earlier. The fact that I didn't remember his face. There was that 2-episode arc where he was setting fire to that bus or whatever. Now I remember. Yeah, I stand by the deserves a table. Lone Wolf says, okay, I got to ask, if Dexter committed to Lila in the end of season 2, how drastic of a story change do you think it would have had in later seasons? I don't know. They've done some sort of rhythm of the Lila storyline later, like these characteristics, these elements that kind of rhyme with the storyline there. I mean, they were trying to do it in Resurrection with what's her face? Fuck's her name? The one that he framed her for Harrison's watch, the rich dude with the watch. That had moments where it felt like they were trying to do something similar. The best parts, and it wasn't as strong. I think having Lila after she knew about Dexter, having her for another season or so, that would have been really interesting. But I'll get to that when I get to her. Season 4 still. I think we're kind of caught up on season 4. On to season 3. Miguel's brother, the dude who kind of lost his shit there at the end. I don't know, another character that it felt like they wanted him to make a bit more sense than he did. Like he was just this side character in the beginning, and he kind of was suspicious of Dexter, and then he, in the middle he was all right with it, and then towards the end he's like a buffoon, getting drunk and trying to or attempting to shoot Dexter at that restaurant. It considering what they were trying to set up with his character, and he's yet another police officer that ends up looking dumb. Really, really quite sloppy. Um, Season 3, I'll put him in Bay Harbor boredom. Season 3, when it was bad, it was still pretty good. Mia, Lady Vengeance. Yes, thank you. And I should be at the top. Well, she's not. Speaking of Miguel, the first character that Dexter actually did kills with, I liked the back and forth, the dynamic of the characters, and the lack of trust that Dexter has, the fact that he's, kind of like a wounded dog. He's got to put him down. That's something that, for all intents and purposes, I think the amount of time he was in that season, I don't know if you stretch that for longer than that. If you can make that, if that's like a 2-3 season arc, I think it would get kind of tired at a certain point, considering how fast you're burning at both edges there. And I think I'm gonna put him in a slice of life. Very strong, but not flawless. Although the timing, I know a lot of people don't like the fact that he was done before the final episode, but I'll take that. Oh, and speaking of that, where are you? The Skinner. Yikes. I will agree with the sentiment of Dexter YouTube that he did not deserve to be the season finale bad guy. He wasn't really. I don't think he was the antagonist of season 3. It was technically Miguel, but yeah, deserves the table. Not JW. Are you just taking the piss now? George King is not GOAT. Okay, I was like, there's no way. Hannah should be deserves in a table. Wow. All right, we're gonna have a fight in the chat. Okay, season 3. Quinn's precious CI that ended up making it into season 4. See, now his character was something of a typical relationship guy where I don't know. He ended up being fodder for Deb there. Oh, literally, he ended up being fodder for a couple of reasons, but yeah, I don't know. This is a typical relationship character, even though they had him be a little bit more. Oh, is he bothered that Deb is now into Lundy again? Well, sucks to suck, I guess. Bay Harbor boredom is where he's going. Dexter didn't kill Dexter didn't kill Miguel, brother, so I'm worried that's going to come back and bite him. Yes or no? No, because Miguel was a loose cannon, and the last time Dexter and Miguel's brother spoke, Miguel's brother was like, "Did he really say that? That's about me." Like, so there's a fucked up family, and if you remember, what's his face who died in the first episode, he was into drugs too. So there was that family was a little funky. I don't think that'll come back and bite him. Let's get Matthews done here. Um, I kind of wish he had a relationship because he's perfect for that little sub tier. He's a perfect relationship tertiary character. Bay Harbor boredom. He's fine for what he is, but I don't know, the fact that he was around for basically the original run through season 7. I don't think he was in season 8. Doesn't matter. Um, not really offensive, but also not not great. His little back and forth with LaGuerta was interesting, but like back when it was 12 episodes, I guess you want an hour's worth of him and Maria going back and forth to kind of help pass the time. Some extra fluff, if you don't mind my definition. But I didn't hate it. It's not something I was like just it. There was times where it probably was my pee break, if I'm being honest, but um, not anything that you needed to experience, and certainly nothing that you'd feel awful about if you missed. It didn't really add much to the ongoing arc, is I guess the best way I can put it. All right, we got heavy hitters left. Yeah, we got heavy hitters left. My early season, he was in all of the OGs. Yeah, season 8, like the last 2 or 3 seasons, I have like this haze. I have PTSD about the last couple seasons. Where to go first? Well, technically, so we'll do Lundy. Lundy technically made it to season 4. Um, Man, in a perfect world, I bet if they were to rewrite, if they knew they were getting 8 seasons, I bet you Doakes goes at least 4 seasons, and I bet you Lundy probably fills in the other 4. Because Lundy was a good adversary, a very strong adversary, and he also was a relationship guy too. It was a Swiss Army knife. Lundy was. I'm putting him in S tier. It seems like the best ones kind of, they burned out a little too fast. But I'd rather want more of someone than just question why why they're still around or in the show at all. But Lundy was great. I kind of wish we had a lot of him. Having him catch Dexter, that would have been, I would have felt that was earned. But yep, not enough of him. But what we got was rather impressive. Masuka. Yeah, he's got that laugh. That's awesome. He's got characteristics that make you realize he's a character with a life. It's not just something to chew up time. He's not Matthews like, that's for sure. And technically still an open-ended character. I'm going to put Masuka in a slice of life. Probably the closest thing to an ongoing comic relief for tense moments. Lone Wolf, $2. Thank you. Wonder how Doakes and Trinity would have gone. Yes, those two in the same season would have been interesting. All right, I guess we'll get her done now. Lila, the original Temptress. I certainly wanted more of her, and considering how many times they've rhymed this type of storyline, the fact that we had it in season 5, Mia in Resurrection. Thank you for the name in chat. It it's different. It's interesting when they try to redo it, but nothing matches that original Go. And it's one of those things where if Dex ended up leaving Rita for Lila, we could have had like a sneak peek of season 5. And I'm S tiering. I'm S tiering my best trophy for Lila. I don't know if it's the 3 Bs, British, brunette, and brown eyes. Is that 3? Anyway, everything. This is I'm a little smitten for Jamie Murray, the actress that played Lila, but I really kind of enjoyed everything that happened with her character and everything surrounding that season. And you know, normally just like relationship characters, I'm sorry, I'm not the type of person that watches television shows to watch sex scenes. I probably used to be. Teenage me would argue right now, but I'm at the point where if I'm watching something to be entertained or challenged or have an artistic spin on things, I really don't I don't care about love life. But if you give me a dramatic purpose for it, I'm quite intrigued. And Lila kind of was all of those things. And I'd want more of her character. Again, considering they've done similar things in season 5, season 7, Resurrection. It's a stretch of road that they really try to rework out. I think we got so Paul, who also met his demise in season 2. Jacob from Lost, a sideways character, a tertiary character that they tried to make him something of a big deal. He wasn't just a ex-love interest thing. There was a little bit of entanglement there with Dex. I don't know. I'm giving the actor more credit than I'm giving the character. He was all right. Like the dirtbag father thing was interesting, and he was the first in the Dexter series. He was the first to probably have a suspicion about him. Not Doakes. It was Paul. But to be fair, I'm going to put Paul in doesn't move the needle. Paul belongs on the island. Indeed. We have to go back. Oh man, if we did a Lost one like this, holy shit. That would be hard. Okay, so Quinn technically hadn't started yet. I think Quinn was in season 3, so let's do Quinn now. Again, another technically, it's an open-ended character because we did hear from him right at the end there in Resurrection. Another something of a Swiss Army knife with, he was a relationship guy. He was also something of an adversary for a little bit, can be moving forward. He's served multiple purposes, and he was his own guy with a relationship guy for a little bit there in season 7. I'm going to put him in Slice of Life because I don't think it's flawless, but I don't hate it when he's in the show. And the fact that you're giving me multiple storylines with this guy, multiple variants on his story, and I'm okay with it. That kind of says something about the character. We have to go back. Oh, brother, who am I going to piss off? I'm going to piss off someone here. Nothing but heavy hitters left. Let's do Maria. Maria, in the very, 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 very beginning, was quite flirtatious with Dexter. That was interesting. For like 2 episodes, they tried making it seem like Maria was something of a floozy. Then they didn't do that much anymore, and then she was just kind of someone who hungry to get ahead, take no prisoners type of character at Miami Metro. Um, met a grisly end due to her season 7 antics. Um, I think I don't think she was spectacular to begin with. I don't think her at her best, that character at her best, um, was something that I felt we needed. Again, another character that had their own relationship thing for a little bit there. When she was with Angel, it was like, oh, all right. Not only these side characters for the the station, but now they're also sideways relationship characters, and they showed how much they don't know what the fuck they're doing with that character or that relationship, because it was just like it was a thing and then it wasn't, and then let's not talk about it because we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We don't care. Um, I I think I'm going to put her in doesn't move the needle, because if I'm being honest with you and being honest with myself, um, she's like just a really shiny fluff character, and yeah, again, how many times did they have Maria do a major storyline thing, only to have just like evaporation by the next season? Her being married to Angel next season, no, never, we're divorced. Don't worry about it. Her chasing and nearly catching Dexter, and then Deb taking her out. Big way to close season 7, right? Nope. Here's a bench. We're done with this, and we're not talking about this anymore. Like their lack of consistency, their lack of ability to buy in on her storylines kind of proves to me that even on the other end of the script writing process, they didn't have much faith in her character. Whew. All right, Harry. Um, I'm not going to count Original Sin because they're a different actor. I guess that helps that too. I'm trying to think. So in New Blood, we didn't have Harry, but that also is not factoring in the fact that we have so many flashbacks in the earlier moments of Dexter, and they filled out the character quite a bit. But they, I don't know. I feel like you could have filled that in without having the character is just an angel on the shoulder type, not angel, but a conscience type of thing. I'm gonna put Harry in a slice of life because I think he's a good character, a great character, but wasn't something that was just absolutely imperative. Kenneth says Resurrection made LaGuerta important again, but then look what happened to Angel. It's as though she no longer matters again. Frustrating. Hannah should be at the bottom. Oh, oh. All right. I guess we'll. I've been sugarcoating this one because technically, well, he's had multiple moments, and we did technically just see his character or the ghost of his character in Resurrection. Brian, another character that I think they know they might have done that storyline way too early because they keep kind of dangling that character back over our heads, and there's certainly more to it. I think to have, I mean, you have these conflicts between Dexter and I feel like with Dexter and Miguel, if they still had Brian, they probably would have done that with Brian. And one of the downfalls of writing for television when you're not sure how many seasons you're getting, you got to do the best stuff first. But Brian, yet again, I want more of it, and we still kind of get some more pieces of Brian every now and again. And I like the idea of Brian being like Dexter, when he's all out of control and off, off the path, like his angel on his shoulders for him being disheveled and not flying by the code. Brian being there for him. I like the idea of that. And it's just a shame that we couldn't get those two characters interact a bit more as alive at the same time characters. Brilliant conflict. Oh boy. I guess we'll do Deb now. Deb is the creator's ragdoll. Anytime you have a character that needs to get just mistreated, fall in love with the wrong person, I don't know, get fucked over by Dexter, whether it be directly by Dexter or Dexter's love interest that season who tries to kill her. This character gets kind of shit on by the creators, the writers of the show. And at least some of it wasn't earned. I'm not going to go to the length that I did with Maria, like them acknowledging that the character wasn't strong by just abandoning things. But for as much as they beat the shit out of the emotions of Deb, poor choice in men, just this constant wanting to be like Harry. In the end, it didn't matter. Like all of these things that you wanted her to suffer through, to be something that Dexter would, I don't know, want to change for. She ends up just dying at the end there, and like it just didn't matter. Like Dexter ended up coming back to the hospital because she was in the hospital after the gunshot, and the most anticlimactic way to finish off an antagonist while also not putting him on the table. It was just the epitome of anticlimactic. And that's for the Deb character. I'm going to put her in a slice of life because I don't think the show ever thought of her as top tier. Even in New Blood, when they made her the ghost on the shoulder, the angel on the shoulder for Dex when he was like on sabbatical, the out of practice version of his ghost on his shoulder. A lot of people just can't stand that. Well, it's a weirdly written season, New Blood, but a lot of people really didn't like the Deb as a ghost thing. And I can't disagree. Oh, big three left. Okay, so Angel. Technically a character that might have a beginning, middle, and end. I really hope there's more left to this. But I think they did his character dirty. They made him look a little sloppy, a little foolish there at the end of Resurrection. Like they did a speed run of Maria in season 7 with Angel in the last 2 or 3 episodes, or the penultimate last season's Resurrection episode 6, 7, 8, 9. It didn't leave the best taste in my mouth, but he was a great character. And considering what they like retroactively made him important to Dexter by doing the original sin, it like they retroactively made him important to Dexter, and anything that you thought that Harry did with Dexter was actually Angel because of original sin, and the retconning was sloppy, sloppy. But all things considered, I think the fact that because I'm let down with the way they closed things, he's S tier. And Doakes, what have I said a couple of times? If we're left wanting more, they've done something spectacular. I think there is a universe where you could have had too much of Doakes, but we don't have that experience. In the same breath, we could have had at least twice as much of him and still been needing more. Without any hubbub, I will put Doakes in the my best trophy. Man, I'm trying to think. As much as Dexter, they try to emulate and copy storylines that they've done. People that know who Dexter is or on to Dexter. Like you think about Quinn in season 5. That's something of a watered down version of Doakes. Not quite as strong. They bail on it towards the end. Maria in season 7, not quite as strong. They bail on it by season 8. I think Doakes, everything about that character was so strong that they just know they can't match that. And it's another situation where we all just know that he would have been the perfect adversary to wrap things up. And that's something of a bummer, is the fact that, we we didn't have enough of him. And if ever there was a true adversary, if it's not like a serial killer character, it was Doakes. Doakes was the one to take him down. They how pissed off were we when they had Harrison take out Dexter at the end of New Blood? We just weren't into it. The motivations were all wrong. You could have had Harrison, take Dexter out because of what happened to his mother, and it just didn't feel worth any of that. Doakes, it wasn't any of that. The fact that towards the end of the Dokester, that's the hybrid of Dex and Doakes. The end there of the two characters, their story in the cage, in the cabin in the woods, that was probably some of, if not the best dialogue in all of the series. Well, definitely the season, but I'm trying to think, is there a better back and forth in the series? Definitely season 2, but them having that discussion and the back and forth and kind of being teammates for a little bit when the drug dealers show up. The roller coaster we go on in just the cabin scenes was so awesome. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where if they found a way to write him back in or give him a long lost identical twin, it sounds awful on the surface, but I'm willing to listen. What do you have for me? I'll try to take it as much as possible. We really had a great one, and it's a shame that if things worked out perfectly, I think everyone behind the show would have Doakes be the person that takes Dexter down. But alas, I'd rather want more than want less, and that is that with Doakes. Last but not least, Dexter. Has he been a flawless character? And this is something where you could take the word flawless and read into it. I would say he's not a just character. I think there have been times that he's been kind of uneven. And Well, I'll just do this now because it's not going to be that much of a. I'm putting him in a slice of life because all the things that happened to Dexter, none of them seem to matter moving forward. Anything that like kind of rocks his foundation, we haven't had that moment yet where something's happened to his character and it has a lasting impact. And we're at the point now where we're what 11 seasons in, and he's still kind of selfish. He's still kind of doing his thing because he wants to do them. He's like an addict, which is I another reason why I really enjoy season 2 because the parallels, the metaphor for addiction was perfect for his character. Um, but he's not learning. He keeps losing characters. The fact that he had Hannah nearly try to kill his sister, and then he still takes her in and tries to get Deb to like be okay with it. Yeah, like that's such a weird thing to do for a character. I I'm so, like I want again another character that there's certainly more room to do things with his character, but the thing about Dexter's character is I think you can make his character better. And if you can make his character better, that means that he's not like the tippy top. And I really want to put him at the top, but all of the disadvantages, all of the moments that I have where I don't know, I shake my head and say, like, what? Why are you doing this? It's a vigilante killer who I don't know gets people to root for him. This awesome anti-hero, but when I don't understand his character, when I'm rooting for his character to do better things, to have different impacts, it it's not it's it's not done perfectly. It's not done well. Um, he's not the Walter White of Dexter, as weird as it is to say that. Um, I am someone who feels that you can get Dexter to become the antagonist of this series, like Walter White in Breaking Bad. And for as much as Dexter YouTube, a lot of you guys who have commented on previous videos uh, want him to go on forever and never get caught. Um, this is storytelling. This is fiction. Um, there's no redemption to that. It's just this infinite story of him getting away with things. The conflict of his character is, he's doing something that isn't completely legal. What is the pushback on that presentation? I mean, he's gotten rid of innocence. I think around 5, if not a little more, a little less. What is the payment for that? What is the penalty for that? And there's been a loss of so many characters that are close to him. But the problem is, anytime we lose a major character, it has no effect on his character. Rita, he's off doing his thing within a couple of episodes, season 5. Um, well, I won't say Brian because Brian would have been his partner in season 2. Moving on, but Deb in season 8, and technically Angel dot 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 question mark. All of these big time characters that it their loss, or I don't know, them being affected or taken away from Dexter, it should feel like it has meaning. And the problem is any character that we've had that has been a big deal, it's just Dexter doing the same shit all over again, where it's like, oh, I lost my wife. Anyway, let me go back to killing people. And I've got a new girl to date now who looks just like my wife. That's weird. Uh, I need his character to feel like something he's learning, or something is impacting him to change his I don't know, his mantra, the code. It's something. Again, I brought up earlier about that Brother Sam, yes, man of science, great. But if there was a longer impact of Brother Sam and his faith belief, if it like affected Dexter and second guessed himself, that would feel redeeming. It would feel, worth the journey. Again, I'm not saying that Dexter's anything close to below a slice of life, but needs improvement, can be worked on, can be perfected, is my opinion. Kenneth Locke, $5 super chat. Thank you. Great podcast. Appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat. CPO is canceled for putting Dexter in a slice of life. You know what? I kind of stand by it. Not kind of. I mean, I literally just did it. But you can improve that character is the best way to put it. Rita was top tier. Wow. Yeah, I have Rita in a higher tier than Dexter because again, her character is done. It left me wanting a little bit more, and I don't know. Dexter, I still want more, but not in the best way. We've had multiple chances here. They're onto something with Resurrection, but the fact that like this is a testament to the issues with his character. The fact that we've had multiple endings of the season, the series, the character, and they keep going back. They're acknowledging that, hey, we fucked this up. And then, hey, we fucked this up again. Like, if his character was S tier, season 8 would have been the end. If his character was S tier, hey, New Blood would have been the end. But it hasn't been. She bored me. That's fair. That's fair. The tier list should be listed on the bottom. Take it on your own if you'd like. But that is it. Special thank you to Cody Leach for literally putting this together. I think we'll try to see if there's that all characters in Dexter tier list that maybe we'll do it together at some point, because I'm gonna need a partner for that, because you saw how bad I was in this episode, and these people had storylines. Don't tell me that they had names, because I don't remember all of them. So in that instance, I will be way worse. But let me know down below where you would differ, and if you have Dexter lower, let me know, and why, or how crazy am I for not having him in the tippy top? Is my love for Lila maybe too much? Thank you in advance for the comments. Don't forget to click like, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you on the next one. I've been Charles, otherwise known as CPO. Have a day.